There was no sound. Hey, welcome to the Dark Horse Paranormal podcast. Wow.
I told you it would be fine.
We're so professional. After like 4 years now of doing this?
Almost 5, yeah.
Yeah, something like that. Some shit. How are you guys doing? What's going on? Who's out here tonight? I see there's a few folks. Hey, what's up, George? What's happening? We're liking your videos on YouTube. Yes. And let me throw this up here. You can find this gentleman on YouTube and looking for his name, George Indexler. And he's got some like awesome spirit box stuff going on. Really cool. Really cool. It's psyched to see you out there. Carol. What's happening, Carol? What is going on, Carol Garcia? We have another Garcia in the house. We're going to bring out shortly.
That's right.
Marilyn Bast. What's going on? What's going on?
We miss you.
Miss you, our friend. You are.
Got your paintings right behind us.
Yeah, we do.
Yes, we do.
Yeah, we do. And you guys are awesome. We got a great guest for you. He's a regular to our show. He's been on a bunch of times, and we always love having him. He's one of the few psychics that we have on the show that does live readings like on the spot. And he's just an interesting character, and he's a great guy. Kind and fun. His name is Chris Garcia. We're going to bring him right out and we'll get right to things. We can talk about some psychic stuff. And I don't know, is there anything we wanted to cover before we went in there? I know we had an EVP for you guys, and the reason why we're running late is I could not get it on our soundboard that we have in front of us. It would just not copy over, but it's a really good EVP, like a Class A EVP. So I'll put a little more time into that this week, and maybe we'll have that for you next week. Well, let's bring on Chris. What's happening, my friend?
Hello there.
Yeah, I've been doing pretty good. I'm doing pretty good as I'm just multiple tasking today. I'm doing the tasking, so as y'all were doing that, putting it on the air. But I've been doing pretty good. I've been just busy, like I told you. The walkthroughs have been just increasing, crazy. There's a few cases I've done, but of course I can't just claim over a lot of stuff. But it's been kind of interesting with a new family and new friends and stuff. It's been kind of interesting. This journey has been.
Just before this, talking about these walkthroughs, and maybe can you elaborate a little bit on what's entailed in doing a walkthrough when you do a walkthrough?
Well, most of the walkthroughs are of the thing the walkthroughs consist of is where I'm just doing it, where I have friends on me, but sometimes it depends on who is being drawn or what is going on at that specific time. So what I'll do is I'll be on camera behind you guys, and I'll tell you what room to go to, or if it's a business or a residential area. I connect right off the bat, and what I'll do is tell them go right, left, right, whatever, and then if they have any activity, I like to go in blind. I don't like to be told anything. And then there's sometimes where we do some healing in the walkthrough. Some of them will tell them what they need to do with the walkthroughs and saying, well, you need sage, you need to do this, you got to do that. If you don't do this, there's another option. We've had friends where we've done them on TikTok where my friend Nicole was on there. She goes by a different name, by the way. There's others that have done it with me. Holly, which I don't know if she's on. I don't know if she's watching, but you'll see her. I've done even walkthroughs, even with photos, just photos on Messenger. I'll look at them. They'll send them to me. And I'm looking in my head with remote viewing as through a picture. And I've never done that, guys. That's something different. I would read a picture. It's you do psychometry. But instead of doing psychometry, it was I was looking at the picture and I was physically there. So I've done that, and that's kind of interesting. A lot of people don't get to see that because I'm doing that on Messenger, and then there's people that don't like to expose, their homes and stuff like that. But there's times where I like to, if they don't care about their home, I said, if your home is a mess, so what? I just tell them that if your house is like that, I'm not here to judge. I'm just here to guide you and help you in what you need to do and what. Now, it would be good if people did have a clean house, but sometimes some people just don't have.
Let's go back a little bit. So people will send you a picture. Go over what people do, right? And when you say psychometry, that's more or less like when you touch an object and you get a reading from the object from holding it. But you're getting this from a picture, or are you getting an object from the home?
No, I'm getting like the picture. Like if since it's like more pictures, I'll look at the house from the picture, like a photo. Say you send me a photo or something. Instead of doing the psychometry because I can't touch or see them physically, with the picture, what I'll do, and it's kind of like I'm doing instead of the psychometry, like this would be a good thing. So this is a stone. This actually came from a good friend of mine. It's a stone that came from a lake. So they're actually crystals that you can find on the lake. But but what I'll do is like look at the picture and I'll just put myself in that space of the picture like I'm there. And then I don't see myself, I'm seeing through the other gifts I have and I'm like at the house. I've done that where I can do remote viewing from here and go to somebody's house and do that kind of stuff.
That's
So
wonderful. That's awesome. Ooh,
it's creepy though too, let me tell you. You had voices where you've seen like a few times in the past I've had where you just never know with me. It's like I'll pick up stuff and then you'll see like a shadow go across and there's just like everybody in chat or like, did you just see that? And I'm like, yeah. No one.
A gut instinct with you because you don't want to, you go in blind, right? You mentioned that and you don't want to know anything about it. So what you're feeling, what's going through your mind is going to be like a fresh, true impression of the situation, right? For the walkthrough, you're getting it, without any kind of tainting. Your consciousness can swerve you in all kinds of directions. If I tell you this house is supposedly haunted by, Philip, K. Dick, the author, you're really going to think Dick when you walk in, right? Like, oh, you get all stuff in your head, and that it taints it. Am I right?
AOL.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I've done that. I don't know if y'all know Lynn. I'm pretty sure you guys know Lynn, right?
Lynn Monet?
No, Dorman.
Oh yeah,
Lynn.
Lynn.
Yes.
Okay,
yeah,
well,
okay.
yeah, we did one show with it was three of my friends, and he was showing us photos, and he was just like, "I'm gonna see what you guys feel." So he's just boom, 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 and it was like on Halloween. Yeah, he says something behind me. It's probably
Could be.
probably
Yeah, we
yeah.
don't.
That's always something behind me. I tell you, that's funny you mentioned that. But yeah, there's just we did a pretty good, had a good time there, and it was just amazing. We just didn't even know anything. I said, "Don't tell us anything." We'll say this would be validation. He's kind of full of himself. He kind of shows maybe strangers things. George, he's been a supporter for a long time.
Yes.
I've got to remember that Chris is on the show. All Chris's, so we get confused easily.
Yes, we do. Chris, and Chris. We've had a whole bunch of
What's happening? What's happening, George? Good to see you. Hey, it's Anne-Marie Young. What's going on?
Hello, beautiful.
What is that?
Hello. But other than that, I mean, it really details on some of them, and that's why when I was looking at the pictures behind you, I mean, I don't see no dolls, but I do feel like there's some kind of energy there, but it's not. I don't know. I keep seeing someone with, and I don't know if it's just a doll or just a presence. I keep getting a woman with dark hair, long hair, very long hair. It could be a doll, or maybe it's a doll, but it has a spirit with it. But it's not nothing to worry about. It's just I feel her around her. Very young, very kind of curious, kind of so to speak. I don't know if that makes sense, but
that is a wonderful gift that you have, that you just kind of get readings on the spot. And one of the reasons why we love having you on the show is that you just can give people readings and stuff. Like dolls go.
Yeah, we do. We have them.
You know.
Oh wow.
And you can't really see her, right?
I'll hold
Yeah,
her up.
oh wow.
Good time.
Oh,
That-
I got chills.
Oh, dark hair right there. And this wonderful doll.
Wow.
right.
Ooh, wow, that is creepy.
She's okay.
Oh, she's wonderful. She
mismanaged
plays
sometimes,
Send
but-
in the Clowns,
Yes.
which is pretty cool because we had a really interesting experience in the Conjuring house of all places with this song.
Wow.
We should have brought her with us.
We should have, but we weren't planning on it. It was kind of just a spontaneous thing. We brought Clowny.
Yes.
I don't know if we got Clowny. Clowny comes with us. We bring a small doll with us to all our
I have pictures.
investigations. It's sort of a bait type object, right?
Trigger object.
Trigger object.
He's right there. I can't reach him.
And we did Clowny, but yes, this one here is a little bit more fancy. What's very interesting about her is we got her and she wasn't sold as a spooky doll or anything, but she has this sort of blue hue to her skin. I mean, she doesn't really look alive.
That's another thing that I was going to say. She does
kind
have
of goes
this
out of the
Cabbage
cage.
Patch doll. Yeah, it has this Cabbage Patch doll kind of presence to her where she doesn't look real, but she could be very much alive in that doll. Just saying. But
Sure.
nothing to.
Animism. We believe in animism. Anything
That's
can,
right.
can
We
have
are
a spirit.
animists. Panpsychism is a big thing for us. And that's the idea that consciousness can pervade, the matter because we're all made of the same stuff, essentially. At
Right.
the end of the day, when you break it down, we're all made of the same things. We're all carbon based, and so are our surroundings. And we think consciousness can move through that. So we think
I
that's
agree.
for hauntings.
So Marilyn Bass.
Bob says he hates dolls. They give him the creeps. Well, me too.
It's fine.
I mean, some dolls I can feel certain stuff, but I've had people say, "Well, did you read a doll for me?" And I'm just like, hmm. Depending on what I feel at the time, because I usually just get this vibe, before everything. But yeah, so
Yeah. We're all energy. Everything is energy. And that's right. I don't think
Yes.
that doll is haunted. We don't feel that. But, I think it has the ability to be at a certain time. I think that's true of a lot of haunted objects in general. Like they might have some kind of residual thing that you're getting when through psychometry. If you touch them, you might know a little bit of the history, but for the thing to actually interact with you, it would need a certain kind of consciousness to kind of come into it. And it probably doesn't reside there 24/7. Kind of like building a fairy house,
Yes.
right? That kind of thing.
Put your intentions into it.
Yeah, put your intentions. It might draw it. You might get some activity, if you will. But it may not be all the time.
you just never know what kind of stuff you're gonna get, and sometimes you have to depending if the doll can be very possessive or the something that wants it can be to where you have to bind it, but that's rare.
The unbinding.
But yeah, and you just have to bind it. But there's times where you have to do that and get down and stuff. But what about Barbie? Oh, Victoria.
Well, I bet there are a lot of haunted Barbies out there.
I bet there are.
You think about kids.
Oh wow, that's funny you mentioned that. I have a Bewitched doll. I have a Bewitched doll up there.
Nice.
I'm a collector. It's in the box. I haven't touched it because they say when you it loses the value. But that was the only thing because I'm a big fan of Bewitched and Elizabeth Montgomery. I was a big fan of her, by the way. And that's the only thing I have. But that I don't really show very much. But she's still in the box.
Oh, that's cool. Have you ever seen the statue in
yes,
Salem?
Salem.
Oh no, I have not.
Have you
Sorry.
been to Salem? I'll share the picture. I'll share.
Oh
picture.
God, here we go. Yeah, here we go.
This is awesome.
No, this is really cool. This is something they have in Salem, Massachusetts. So we can bring it up here on the old StreamYard. There we go. There you go. There's Bewitched. And she's out there in the courtyard, right, pretty much dead center in Salem, I believe, right? In the kind of the touristy area.
Isn't she right next to the witch house? Which was for
Oh, wow. Wow.
Yeah, that's a cool thing. Sorry, images. Oh, I should paint it red there, but yeah.
And that's in Salem, like in the center of town.
Massachusetts, yes.
Salem, Massachusetts. Yeah.
I would like to see that one day because I'm a big fan of hers.
Salem is a lot of fun. It's a good time, especially in October. We tried to get over there. We've been there with Anne Marie Young.
Yes, we have.
But we tried to get over there this October, and we just didn't get the time. But it is bananas in October. I mean, it takes hours to get in, hours to get out. You have to plan that. But the energy is amazing in Salem. You know, there's so many people just having a good time, walking around, enjoying themselves. You know, it's Vegas for, paranormal peeps and witches. So good time.
Yeah. I do have a past life in there too, Chris. I do have a past life there. I know that in that lifetime, that I did do the craft in that time, but I was more quiet. I remember some little images, and then I do remember now in New Orleans. Now I don't know if I ever told you who I was and who I'm related to, but I'm not going to go there. And that's because we talk about a lot of things on the shows that I've been on. But I do have a connection. Also have New Orleans, and New Orleans is something that's not like they do in movies. It's something that I've been told that once you go to New Orleans, the atmosphere, it's different, and it's like you're going back to like back in the old days. It's not like the energy feels like if you're going back to the 1800s or something.
Sure. 17,
yeah,
1600s. It really does. It really does. You can feel that atmosphere. You can feel all the energy of it. It's wonderful.
Absolutely. It's a good time. But there are places like that all over the country that seem to be kind of hot spots for gatherings in paranormal activity. And I don't know if it's because of history, ley lines. I don't know.
The land itself, scarification from all the wars, the indigenous people, we just don't know. Desecrated.
Yeah, but I think some of that energy does come from the ocean. Knowing that it's got, like, once it goes over, because they have a lot of incidents and people over there in New Orleans, and I feel bad for them, but I do feel that water and spirit is connected. So knowing that it's that sounds so weird. I was just told something that when the water goes over the city, of course it's going to touch some electrical stuff. So it's a conductor of energy. You see what I'm saying? So when it goes over the cemetery grounds, somewhere in the cemetery, it kind of like, it's like it opens things up. So water and electricity don't.
Oh.
Oh, goodness.
Okay.
Hello.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Just happened?
Talking about energy.
Yeah.
Wow. Did you just see that?
And that was
Did
fast.
you?
Going back on like that.
You went,
so
you came
what
back?
happened there?
Wow. I don't know if anybody saw that. Okay, I better be quiet because I'm being told don't talk about that anymore.
That happens. That happens here.
I don't know if anybody saw that. We were just
Sky Ray right there.
That's right.
That was
messed up. That's all I'm gonna say. That's what that was.
Wow. That was messed up.
You back really, really fast. We shall talk
we
about
broke
something
StreamYard.
else.
Chris, you broke StreamYard.
Wow. And it's so weird. Right when I said the water and the electricity and it conducts the spirits, and then all of a sudden it just went. I was buffering and I'm like, where'd you go? I was like, what the hell was that about?
Hell yeah, it's so funny.
And then, of course, I'm wearing my dead files because I love my Amy Allen. I know Cindy is taking
Amy,
over, but I love my Amy. I cannot help it.
good
I have a
promotion.
big crush. Yeah, I have a big crush on her, by the way.
Do you really know?
Hey, you've always been
Yes.
Amy since
Yeah,
we've
you
been
have.
talking to you. And about I don't know, about 3 years now. We've had you on the show different times about that, at least a couple.
Well, at least if she's watching, she's got to say, "Oh, he's got a crush on me."
That's cool.
Because,
That's cool. And I think that's neat. I've always enjoyed that show, and I'm not a big show watcher. We
No,
don't watch a lot
really
of the shows, surprisingly.
Shut that off.
It's not a real thing, but for us, but I think they're cool. And that was one that I really kind of like. A great perspective, having a psychic with a guy getting the data and putting it together.
Data. You said that, baby.
Data.
You said that right. Not evidence. Data.
Data. Is it data or data?
Oh, I don't know. Data was the Goonies. That's what reminds me.
But no, she's awesome, and that's such a cool thing.
Goodness.
Wow, but that was weird. So I think I did it. There's no surprise with me, you know that. I want to say something. I must have hit a point or like a nerve that we just got to where we were just buffering, and all I said was conductor, and water. That's all I said.
That's right.
That's right. And set it off. Daniel, to your comment, we commune with spirits all the time. In fact, it's more our focus than anything.
Yeah.
So yeah, absolutely. It's about that spirit communications.
And I know, Nicole, you saw that, right? Right when I said it, that was weird. If you don't believe in the paranormal people, I don't know what to explain. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think at this point, and to quote our recent guest, Chris Balzano, a great guy.
Yes.
An awesome guest. And he said, let's just cut to the chase. All right. Paranormal is real.
That's it.
No, let's on that fact, and we'll talk about other things. And I love the way he put it. It was hilarious, but very, very true. That's how we feel. Like we're no longer even trying to prove an afterlife. We know it's there.
Yeah.
We know that there are things around us that are passed on people. There are other entities. We can label them fairies. We can label them elementals. We can give them all kinds of labels. They can be thought forms is another thing that doesn't get talked about enough. People can put enough thought into something and create, a sort of egregore that will habitate, and seem to have a consciousness and will haunt you, or at least change the feeling of a room.
Right.
Exactly. These things are there. We don't doubt it anymore at all. Chris, I don't know what tulpas, Victoria says. Yeah.
Yes.
Very real. Very real. It's actually probably responsible for a lot of the hauntings of different places that people investigate are not even spirits as you might think of them as dead people, but are actually just the thought forms of the people that maybe live there.
Mm-hmm. I just think it's just so weird because there's just energy everywhere. And I was going to ask y'all, how did y'all feel like after Halloween? Because it's just been just crazy since then. The energy to me, even we did it, like I was talking to a friend of mine earlier. I was in the chat and we were talking about the moon. She says we're going to have it for another week. And we were talking among my friends. Yeah, I saw that. And it was weird because we brought up the moon. And the moon up here, you can go outside and there's no moon, but there's only stars. And I was telling my friend, I said, where the hell did the moon go? She goes, she's gone outside. And she's like, there is no moon. And she said that can be creating a lot of people that are not able to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
And it was weird because I don't know. I just felt like there was but
we put up a phone number. Now people are texting and calling you.
No, it's not that. Uh,
It's true. Victoria said there was an intense eclipse,
And there was.
and there was.
oh yes.
Yes. We did some
shut the
dark
moon.
moon stuff ourselves
did.
because we're witchy folks. And we were just telling our new friends, Charlie and Brian,
Yes.
that we met through Kim Horn. Thank you, Kim.
Thank you, Kim.
If you're out there,
Horns up.
I know you're on a podcast right now, so I don't know if you're
Yeah,
you're on with us, but if you catch us, thank you for introducing us. And very cool stuff.
And they are on
Victoria
Paranormal
knows
United.
the story behind that as well.
Mhm.
In fact, the EVP I was going to play was from some of that. It was actually the full moon that came after
the other night. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was just a Class A EVP. I was talking. He was saying something, and you can hear it right over our voices.
Both of us.
And
So,
it's like
and we're
it's
the
right
only
in
ones there.
the
So
mic, and you
we were
can
in
hear it in the background.
a cemetery, a burial ground, sacred area, leaving offerings for spirit. So,
Oh wow.
point. If you're still with us. Hey, what's up? There it is. Hello, my favorite podcast is Mr. Scott Horn. We're from Rhode Island.
Rhode Island.
Yeah.
But that is crazy because like I feel like, and I'm gonna ask you guys straight up question.
Mhm.
Since this was going on for 3 nights, it's gonna be on. My friend said it's gonna be going on for another week or so, and she says, "I bet you anything." Now, any of you two have been trouble sleeping since
Yes.
there's no moon out? I have trouble sleeping. I can confess to that. I will toss and turn. I won't go to sleep. And get this, if it's creepy that I'm doing what a vampire does, vampires stay up at night. I don't go to sleep till almost 5 o'clock. So when the sun goes down, I go to bed.
Yeah. Do you like the quiet in the night? That it's a little quieter.
You know that? Yeah, that is true. That now that you talk about that, that is kind of weird that you mention that because I do like the quietness, but when it's a little too quiet, it kind of has me on edge. But I'm not kidding. I think it was about 2 days ago. Well, actually, it's been a while. There was a lot of strange stuff going on behind me, which is probably why there's a lot of energy back there, which I'm not going to talk about.
Yeah, there's stuff people are seeing it in that too.
Yes, and let me tell you, there was a lot of strange stuff, a lot of strange things behind me, and we took care of it. There was a lot of stuff going on. I'm not going to go into detail. So if anybody sees anything, there's the dream catcher, but behind this wall, see how it's got a reflection?
Yes.
There was something back there. I'm not going to go about anything about it. But it's been just, yeah, we had to do, a lot of my friends had to do stuff for me, and I appreciate it. And I don't even know if they're watching.
Oh, you got some friends
a lot
out
of
there.
Friends out here.
Definitely got some friends out here. Yeah, I would think like at night, these energies, things you're so open to all the time. And I think you're open a lot as a person to those psychic energies must be hitting you a lot through the day. So having a little bit of downtime at night may be helpful.
Yeah, that's the thing too. And Nicole said that she has trouble sleeping. So that just validates that somebody was talking about the 3 nights, Somebody mentioned that we're going to have 3 nights with all this other stuff. So, and that's probably why the moon is not up, because we're in a new moon phase. I know you are. My friend's watching me very closely. Somebody just messaged me on Messenger. She's watching me very closely because there's a lot of stuff.
Hear that? Show I had said that.
So there's been a lot of strange stuff. That's why I have friends watching me right now. Of course, I'm on the show, but there's been a lot of crazy stuff. Let me tell you that.
Well,
if you
do we want to get into some Q&A and maybe some audience and readings and that sort of thing?
Go ahead if they want to and ask questions. They can.
In the audience, you'd like a reading. It's going to be quick. I mean, we're not going to go in depth.
Yeah.
This is not, you're not getting 2 hours of reading here like you would if you get called the number at the bottom of the screen. and reach out to Chris directly, but you can get a taste of it and what he's up to. If you want to speak up in the chat, you guys are awfully chatty tonight.
Yes.
And we love
it's
that.
Wonderful. Thank you. I'm over here monitoring the chat here.
More than willing to.
You know what, Chrissy? That's what my friends do. Like when I'm on a show like this, they monitor. I mean, they have I have like monitors watching me, and it's weird because they know that something has been kind of trying to get to me. Just let me just tell you that. And I'm gonna just tell you a little something would happen. I'm not gonna say much, but I'm gonna tell you how crazy the activity was maybe about a month ago. One day we were in chat, and so we were talking, and I was doing readings, and we had a good time. Me and my friends were talking, and I'm not even kidding you. I think y'all would have had your mouth dropped because this damn fan blinked 1, 2, 3, and then everything just turned off. The power turned off. Okay. I had to get a flashlight because everybody was saying that I was glitching, that my face was making different features, and I was like, "What?" They couldn't even hear me on Messenger. That's how crazy it was. And then they're like, "Something's up, Chris. Something is not right." So one of my friends had to call me directly on the phone. It says, "Chris, can you get back on Messenger in the chat?" I said, "I can't get on. I can't get on at all." So I was like, wow. So it was like they heard a lot of stuff while I was gone trying to get on Messenger. It wouldn't let me in. It would just not let me in. So they heard voices and they heard this one thing talk to them, which I'm not going to repeat what it said. And yeah, there was a lot of crazy stuff after that, which I'm going to dismiss that. But if you don't believe activity does exist, try to be in Chris's shoes for one day. Live Chris's life for just one day.
Exactly.
I totally agree with you, Chris. And we got a few of the questions out. Marilyn Bass, also a psychic, wonderful person.
Yeah.
We love Marilyn. Ask anything about her job. Do you see anything going on with her job?
Personally, I see. Hold on, Mary. Hi, nice to meet you, by the way.
Oh, she's great.
She's awesome. Yeah, we have psychic pour paintings is what she does. And we have a few. And we could not believe what came out in the psychic pour. It's for us. She was pouring.
So what I was told is that she needs to look into the deeper situation. Whatever she's thinking or whatever she's thought about doing.
The better one's on the wall behind me.
Yes, it's something better is coming. It's funny you just said that. You took the words out of my mouth. It's like you're in my head today, Chris. It's a Chris thing. But like I would say, look into the deeper situation. I want to say within the next few weeks, you would probably get a better job. I mean, you're probably doing a good job now, but don't stop what you're doing because whatever it is, it's working for you. So if you have a temporary job, look for something, but look deeper into the situation to try to make the best out of the job that you have. Because there's a lot of people around you that I feel that they don't like your energy. It's because they're just envious of you, but don't give them any power. Take back that power, girl, and just try to make the best of it. But I feel that if you can get something closer, go for it.
Excellent. Marilyn says, I interviewed for a new position and they called me within 3 hours to have a final interview tomorrow.
Oh, so that's what I was picking up. Wow. I like that.
Fits, my friend. Yeah. Just hang tight. That's kind of what you're saying. It's going to get better.
Yeah, and I do feel that even though you're working, but get something better. You got something better coming, girl. Don't worry about it. Because I do feel that everything happens for a reason. And I feel that God puts us at the place at the right time in the right space. So I feel that you're there for a purpose, but you're not going to be there forever. You're just there for a reason. I actually feel that even though you're working, I don't know what you do during the spare time when you have like breaks, but I feel like there's people that have asked you questions while you're working, and you've been able to tap into it like behind the scenes. Because I do feel people know about what you do, the ones that are real close to you at work. I feel like they've talked to you, and you're like, you know what, this is not the time to talk about this kind of stuff. I would just tell you this and this and this and this is what you're picking up. But if you want a more private session, I see you have told them, call me so I can talk more private, because then people are going to be coming in and out, and we just don't want people, for disclaiming purposes, hearing about what I'm telling you and so forth.
That's right. And you can reach Chris Garcia directly at 210-974-3470. He will take your call. Now, I imagine if you get a voicemail, you will call them back, Chris.
Yeah, well, there's. Oh, and by the way, I do have a friend that she's watching. Hi, Harley. I saw you.
Yeah. Holly, Laura.
Lots of
Yeah.
questions out here.
Yes.
Yeah. Welcome to my world, Daniel says. That's right.
Right?
He
Really?
knows. He knows. And yeah, Victoria, you can ask questions. That is what we're doing tonight. And yeah, I know Bob had a question. Let me see if I'm scrolling around. A lot of you guys in chat tonight, and we appreciate that. Thank you so much. Chris, can you look at Karen and Daniels? She is my paranormal partner, and we believe she is just coming into herself. What do you see?
Look into her. Interesting. Let's look into her. Karen White. That's a pretty name, by the way.
It is.
So with that, Bob. Hi, Bob, by the way. So what I was told is, yes, there is some changes, and I was told for you to tell her to reflect on making decisions, because it's reflect whatever is coming is to reflect on what is going on, and to reflect on what she can do to make it better for her. Because I feel like there's two ways of reflection. One is to, what it's funny how what the feeling that I'm getting is almost like reflect and to deflect, which meaning to reflect is to absorb it, and then I think the other word, I forgot the other word, I just had it on the tip of my tongue. I would say just deflect. I'll just call it for now. Is to get rid of, to remove anything that doesn't serve you anymore, and just to get rid of it, is what I'm seeing. I don't know why I'm getting that feeling, but that's what I feel, that reflect on what you do. And what I was told also is to reconsider your options. So I feel like whatever she's going through, Bob, I feel that you're going to help her and guide her in what she's doing that. Because I think with some people, what I was told is for her to trust her intuition. I was told to show you that card. So just tell her to trust herself, and just to believe in herself. Because I feel that some people behind the scenes are kind of making her doubt herself. So tell her that she's the most beautiful person, and just don't give up, because there's a lot of bullying in the paranormal, and that's something else we can talk about. But just know that she will be fine.
That's really good. That's really good. Thank you.
Yes, thank
I
you.
am sure she does as well.
Questions.
So you started off with psychic experiences at the tender age of 5 years old. Chris, do you want to tell our audience a little bit about that? I know we've talked about it in the past, but not everybody's heard the story.
Well, when I was 5, I started seeing things. I actually probably saw my first spirit guide, and I think when it started opening more to like different type of things, it was when I just started having different experiences. I knew things like from between 5 and 10. It started kind of showing more because people started talking to me when I was going in middle school. So it was kind of like when I was 5, I kept to myself. I was more of an outsider, and I did feel like an outcast. So anyone that was in the paranormal or had a gift, I'm pretty sure you felt like an outcast, because I know I did. I actually thought that everybody was like this, but then as time went on, I just said to myself, I know I'm not. That there's others out there, but there's so many of us that feel like we're in the wrong family, so to speak. Because there's some even where I feel that sometimes where I'm like in the wrong family.
There was so much
But
pushback. Like, you know, their kids didn't understand. It was like something you could get picked on about. You know, it's like if you're interested in, you know, if you watch shows like In Search of, or
Yeah.
you know, read the kind of books that you know that we read growing up, you kind of were an outcast by default because like you know, you weren't a cool kid right off the bat. You know, people didn't like that. You know, I remember walking around in middle school with a book on ESP, and you know, like pretty much getting in a fight with a kid over it. You know, it was ridiculous. You know, just because I was interested in reading a book. You know, oh, what are you taking? You know, that kind of thing.
Stupid. It's a
You
big
know,
eye roll for that.
see,
but that's how it was.
you know, it's funny that you say that because it's crazy that you mentioned that because I wasn't bullied in school. I was bullied. So, but really, that's just something that I don't know. It just felt so weird. Like, I don't know. It
I think
kind
a
of
lot
gets
of,
me.
you know, I think that that's part of it. You know, we weren't always the cool kid. You know, I
Hmm.
didn't always go to the thing. I didn't go to catechism, for example.
I did.
But you did.
I got thrown out.
But you got thrown out. So
I asked questions. You
just like
question everything. And when I asked questions to the nuns and to the priests about evolution, Darwinism, we were learning that at that time. And I think I was like, they called my parents to come and get me because they kept explaining it every week of the Christian side of what happened. And I'm like, no, this isn't right. You know, you got to go back. And yeah, I literally got
there was some science to balance with it,
I
right?
love science,
with the spirituality. And the spirituality is such a pre-formulated thing.
Right.
And that isn't how it really works, right? Because people get their spirituality through experience and you know what their mind thinks, not necessarily what's written in a book. Got a more serious question here. This one's really good. From Victoria says, recently my daughter is pushed away from the family. Why? Is she being influenced by someone or her friends? What gives?
That's a good question. I feel like what that she has pushed away because there's something that she's not saying is what I feel. And is she getting influence from friends? Yes or no? Yes or no? Yes or no? According to what I'm seeing, I'm being told yes. But I do feel that there's something that she's not in telling. So, oops, sorry. Shuffling the cards. Something's like trying to mess with me today. So, so what you regards whatever she's going through, keep positive. I actually feel that you're gonna find out something, Victoria, about her. I'm not gonna say that on here, but I feel that you're gonna find out something real personal about your daughter. I feel like you probably know as a mom. I think you would know. And it's funny because the word that just came up right after I said that is wait. So just wait. You're gonna get signs of showing that what is she not saying. And I feel also she's opening up herself to where she's being her own. So because after a certain age, and I can take it from me because I tend to do that when I was young, that we push ourselves away from the parents or the friends or cousins and this and that because we go out of not knowing that we don't show affection to our parents. It's just that we're in our own little mind space. So we just have a tendency of just backing off and saying we want our privacy. But as being a mom and dad and you have kids, you're going to be on them. So sometimes they might give you attitudes or outbursts or outcasts, or they'll just start acting up because they have stuff to hide. And some of the stuff could be real personal, depending on what runs in the family, is one thing. Two, she could be influenced by negative people, and that's why if you see her doing different things, and it's weird how I'm seeing this because I don't know what she looks like, but I'm seeing like nails getting darker, the makeup is changing on her face, and she's wanting to fit in for some reason. I don't know what that means, but if you want to message me privately, we can talk more on a private basis for that and go a little deeper.
Excellent.
Thank
Excellent.
you.
Thank you so much. We appreciate that. Linda says, hey, Reggie Randall. What's going on, Reggie? You're out there too.
Please tell Christy
love
we
you.
said hello.
So tell Christy you said hello and join the chat, bro. Kim says, oh, I see that with Marilyn Bast. A lot of comments. I'm sorry. I got to go through a few here. I'm trying to scroll through. Wow. Not sure, Chris. Okay. Joshua. What's up, Joshua? We love Josh. Not sure if Chris accepts questions about health, but do you think Bella will be okay?
I never heard that name before. I don't know if she's watching, but I think it's the same person. I don't know, but if it's not, it's okay. Well, yes, I do health questions, but a lot of them, some people just don't like to hear the health. Because I mean, if it was me, I wouldn't want to hear it.
Right, and
so,
that's we can talk about after you're done.
Yes.
Yeah, that's an interesting thing when you get a question and you see bad news. Like, how do you
she
put
gonna
it?
be okay? Is she gonna be okay? Yes or no? Okay, for some reason, I think she needs to take better of herself. There's something that she needs to eat more better, actually. But doesn't mean that she cannot change. I actually got that message. I got that message. So I think she will be okay. It's just that I would say to spend time with her is what I feel. Because it's very short time. So maybe just try to take care of her more. Because I was told no. I really don't know. And you telling me I don't want to go there because, that's more personal and that's very heartfelt. So I would say just spend time with her and do more emotional. Yeah. So.
I know Josh cares about his Bella.
Baby.
And yeah. All right. So maybe look at the diet, Josh, right? That'd be good advice and love on Bella. Another question, and we'll talk about some other things. Charles says, will I get to go to Four Corners in Southwest and drum for my friends, the Sasquatch?
That's kind of interesting. I like that. The Four Corners, that's kind of interesting. I think if you save, I think you'd be headed. I want to say, because now if it's not, because I'm being told it's a long time from now, but I do feel that you will have a chance to go. I do feel that if somebody can help you to go there, I think it will work. And I do feel that when you drew these drums for your friends in the sub squash, be aware. I do feel that you're going to be hearing a lot of strange echoes within the forest. I don't know why, but I keep seeing a forest. So if there's a forest or wherever this location is, be very aware because it's very active in that area.
Interesting. Very cool. Very cool. And our friend Kim Horn, who I just want to promote here. So
I've got it on YouTube.
We're on with Kimmy Corpse.
Yes.
Who is also in our audience, and Debbie Wallace Hagen.
Yes.
And great show, guys. You guys were awesome. All of you. A fantastic show. And plug.
Absolutely.
Love you guys. Can you see a particular event coming to light from my husband and I, Mr. Scott Horn?
Yes.
Are you looking
wonderful?
It looks fabulous, by the way. I don't know. There's biceps.
Yeah.
Okay,
if so, will it have a positive outcome?
Well, I see right there with the event. I see first it says to look at other options. Just keep that particular event open and just have an open mind, but look at other options and how you could make something similar to that event, and just be aware because I do see that there is possibility that you can do it because I'm being told it's within weeks if you have the right connection and the right contact and the right connections. I can see it happening. But while you're doing that, you need to recover first from something that you're going through. So that's what I'm seeing with that. I feel that you have to recover first before you go take that step. But I want to say within the next few weeks. I want to say probably Oh man, well, this since it's a particular event, let me see. I want to say going into next year is what I see. I keep seeing January, February time frame. It doesn't. If that's not the precise event or it's happening sometime this month or next month, I see something else coming. So if something doesn't work out, January, February, it's going to be in your favor.
Very good.
Hmm.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, let me go through a few of these. Chris, you are known to have a lot of awareness in the clairs that we talk about, the clairaudience, hearing, and it seems like all of your clairs seem to be aware. Your clairs are aware.
We have to get that on a t-shirt. My clairs are aware.
Do you right? That's a good shirt. Do you find that there's one particular a psychic gift that is stronger than the rest?
That's a good question. With everything that I do, and it's like multiple tasking, I can't really pinpoint because I guess I would have to be tested on that. But I think like they're all like kind of like balance here. Like the clairvoyant, I think it's like very strong. But it's noticing that there's other stuff that I've been able to do like lately. There's a sense of smell. I think that's clairsentient, I believe, where I can smell. I've been selling a lot of high really, but I've been sensing a lot of like I've been smelling like perfumes at times. Um, and then it's weird because my perception with, of course, it's got like because we all have the people that are very intuitive. I believe that when we have our senses, we have the regular sight, hearing, seeing, smell, taste, hearing. But I think with being gifted person, we get it tenfold. So if we have normal of sight, smell, taste, hearing. So it comes stronger to be tenfold. And I feel like as we get older, for the ones that are really, really open and don't ignore their gifts, you open up so much that sometimes you really, and I'll just keep that, just tell you guys that I really at times, even though I don't have this kind of ego, I don't have this kind of I'm just me at the end of the day.
You are.
You know, even though I do get the validation, this and that, but I'm not saying, oh, I'm the, bomb or nothing like that. I don't do that. I'm just very humble, straightforward, straight to the point. But I have a balance of where my gifts come from. And people have asked me, where your gifts come from? Because everybody has a different perspective and different psychic, different mediums have different things. For me, it comes from my heart. Everything that I say comes from my heart. Regardless if it's bad, good, or the ugly, I will tell you what you need to know. It's not because some people use more up here than here, but I think from here is more pure. I'm not saying that other psychics that they use their ability from up here, but I think it's all intertwining. But for me, it's strictly my heart chakra. That's where it just it radiates so much energy that I give to people, and I
will change what's here, right? You're thinking too much with your mind. Then once logic works its way in to that reading, you're done, and it's going to change it, and it's not going to be for the better. It's going to be you trying to put pieces together and form a story when the heart speaks to the truth, and it's just what it is.
Amen to that. Amen to that.
To that.
Excellent. All right, another question for you, if you don't mind. Bob Burnell says, question for Chris: what year will society finally accept life after death and all that goes with it?
Oh, now that one's a good one. That's a good one. I like that. I like a challenge. That's something very interesting. So we're in what year are we? Because I forgot what year we're into. 23.
About to go into 2024.
Yeah.
Yeah, baby.
Ooh.
Hopefully. Where's the chili?
With everything, I think. Oh my God, I don't even think we're gonna live to see this one. I don't know. Maybe I might. I don't know. But I want to say 2029, 2030 is what I see. I don't know why I'm seeing that far. That is creepy, and like I said, I love a challenge. It's something that has never been asked, and with you guys, the people that are watching, I love this because it's something. It's a different perspective. It's a different thing that I know that some people it should come earlier. I would think, but I think a lot of people. I think they need to accept that there is other things to life. I just think people just don't accept it. For us, we do it on the daily, but the only thing that what I tell people, and this is something I can bring up, this is a question and probably give people an answer. I don't maybe somebody needs to hear this, and this is probably what I'm being told. This is a message in itself. Being a psychic and medium, it's not as easy as it looks. I make it look easy, but it comes with responsibilities. Like that saying says in that Spider-Man movie, it comes with a lot of responsibilities. It does. Now, outside of being gifted and all, how do we deal with death in our own family? That's something that no one has ever asked me. When it's
Great
death in our own family,
Great.
it's kind of like we're open, but we're shut at the same time. I don't know if that makes sense
Makes sense.
because we're grieving, but in the same time, we're kind of like a little open when we lose our loved ones, but we're just kind of just don't want to talk about our loved ones when they cross over or when we're going to a funeral. That's something that I don't like to face. But then, in the same token, I should be used to it. Why? Because I see the dead. So it's something that should be natural. But as a human being, that's an emotion that you feel. So there's nothing wrong with, oh man, why do they have to leave me? Well, why do they have to leave us behind? Their mission's complete. Their mission is complete.
Hmm. I buy that.
Yep.
I bet that experiences for us would have been doing some of our. We're witches, and we do stuff. And we were in a place on the last dark moon where we did a little bit of ceremony there, a little bit of shadow work.
Yeah.
Being the dark moon and called to Hecate, and the feeling that came
ancestors.
over us was serenity, and it was this huge amount of peacefulness. And my takeaway from that, our takeaway, is that when it happens, when you transition from life to death, it is not going to be a painful thing. And the only time I've ever felt like a little bit like this was when I was in a very, very bad car accident where I went through the windshield. I almost died, almost bled out, didn't make it.
Wow.
Right. And I did before, they, so thankfully somebody called an ambulance because it was sort of a rural area. And I'm very fortunate that they did because I would have died. But I got up and walked with a broken femur and walked back to my car. And I looked at the moon and I was just staring at the moon. And I felt
Peace.
serenity, peace. Like it wasn't, my body was in shock. I wasn't feeling the pain from the injuries. I was bleeding profusely. And again, my femur was broken and you're not physically supposed to be able to even walk on such a thing, but I did. And looking at it, eventually I collapsed. EMTs arrived, thankfully, but there was a period there where I felt a certain amount of peace. I've never felt that again until we did our thing, or kind of recently.
2 weeks ago.
About a month now.
All right, 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, and yeah, it was like a drug. Like it felt so serene, so
that's the only word
peaceful.
We can think. It was,
and we knew that there were spirits gathering around us, and that sort of thing. And that's what we did. We were doing a call to spirits and trying to assist in any way. And the serenity that came with that was a priceless feeling. It made us question what we're even doing in the paranormal. Like, why are we asking questions?
Exactly.
Because you're here, we know it. Okay, everything's cool, man. Like there's nothing to really ask here. Like, what is your name?
Yeah.
Where are you born?
Nope.
Yeah, like all that
We were
stuff was like
it's
out the
just-
window.
We didn't even want to do that.
It was crazy. And nature acted up. It was an owl
Oh, it
and a
was so
goose and like
cool.
going crazy.
Oh wow! No, that
Yeah.
spirit too in different forms. I believe that because owls have always been known
It's very
to
real,
be
my friend.
to be shapeshifters and familiars to witches. Speaking of that, it's funny that you mentioned owls. But
Coyotes was like 10 minutes later. They were howling from through the woods to each other. We were
They
like,
were
oh,
going
wow!
just
the
reacted
coolest
all of a sudden. Like as soon as
experience.
we did our thing,
And
we
that
called
was
the
it.
quarters, we did our thing. We're doing a little bit of spell work on our shadow cells and working on that. And then just like it was crazy. Nature just started going wild. But the bigger thing was like the serenity that we felt, like
Yes,
that feeling, like the
peaceful.
thing you can't record and play back for you guys
Right.
on the show was like how we felt. And we were just like mystified, right? We kept
Yeah.
looking at each other like, I don't even want to do this spirit
No.
box. I don't even want to do it.
We were good. We
We
were
were like,
just
we're
content.
all good.
This
They're here.
is great. They're surrounding us. And I don't take pictures, but I took pictures of this event and I didn't put them up or anything, but it's just a reminder when we go through them. It was like we get that sense again, you know?
Yeah, that kind of makes sense. Because some people, that's funny that you talk about it. Because I think with the paranormal, it's not as some people that I've talked to that are in the field. Some of them don't even love it no more. I guess it's just something that's in the air that's making them like they're out of their funk or something.
Mhm.
Who it's something that like they're going through, either it's something personal in their life. So it's kind of like they're going through something, so they just lose this interest. But what I see is that if you love your gifts or something that you love, find something to change it, to find that love back into what you do. Because I'm gonna say where I've had times, I ain't gonna lie, because everyone's gonna say, "Oh my God, Chris is gonna call himself out." Chris never does that. Chris never does that. Well, I'm gonna tell you a little story. This happened maybe 2 months ago, and everybody was on my case, and I appreciate it because everybody loves me, and of course, never felt, because some of us don't. We have to be reminded that we're loved. We have to be reminded, especially being during there's down times. I almost thought of just saying, you know what, I'm gonna quit. I don't wanna do it no more. And they're like, "Are you crazy? This is your calling. Don't ignore it, because if you do, your spirits will torture you." And they will say, sir, you ain't going nowhere. This is your calling.
I
I
think
gave you this gift.
Chris, I think you're doing a service to the spirits themselves by utilizing them to answer some of the questions that we're posing even tonight. What you're talking about is mediumship. You're asking spirits to answer, whether they're close guiding spirit of your own or some foreign spirit that maybe belongs to somebody in our audience. You're conveying the very fact that they exist, to us who wonder, is this real? Is all that kind of thing, and why we spend so much time and equipment costs to
Right.
make the light blink. They're there. We know this.
Yes.
I think we all know this, but we need that kind of confirmation. Whether it's the blinking light or you telling you, like, hey, your aunt Hilda said, don't
This
put the locket back in the jewelry box.
Yeah. And it's funny that you want to talk about things. I had this one time, I didn't know what it was, and I went learning about this. This was when I was, I think, like 9. I never told you this story. One time, and I remember, I didn't know what I was doing. Okay. I was in my bed, and I lived somewhere else. I didn't know what this meant, but now I know. So in my sleep, I remember this dream, and it's weird I'm bringing this up. So I was laying down in my bed, not where I'm living here, I was somewhere else. And I remember I don't know where, I just remember just seeing like black, and then I started seeing color at a very young age. I didn't know what it meant, but I started having premonitions very young. So I'm looking up, and I'm just looking at the ceiling, and I'm like, damn, being a young child and just going to sleep. I just knocked out. And all of a sudden, I see myself like walking around, and it looks like I'm in the jungle. And I'm like, what the hell am I doing here? So I'm just there, all peaceful, nothing happening to me at the time. I start running. So I started running, and believe it or not, something was chasing me. Didn't know what it was. I didn't want to turn around, and this was a vision. Started running, and like, leave me alone, leave me alone. And I was actually
Trying to
screaming
get
this in my sleep. But then it was so intense that it got to where I was actually screaming. My mom had to wake me up. But before she woke me up, the weirdest thing, something said, if you want to see what's chasing you, you gotta face your fear. Turn around, something black, looked like me, different face, just what it was. And this is something that people don't even talk about. This is paranormal, but there's always two aspects for you. Remember this. So what I'm about to say, people might not believe in. It was my double ganger. I didn't
Doppelganger.
know what the I didn't know what that was.
Yes, you were going to
Mhm.
say that. Doppelganger.
maybe
Yes.
your shadow self, really.
Maybe.
Exactly. I was running from myself. And then you know what someone told me? I
Would
was
expect-
running from a part of me. I was running from a part of myself at
Right.
9 years old.
Right?
Why?
But you have to accept your shadow. Like you have to integrate it into your life. It's the part of ourselves we push away, but it is still part of ourselves. So coming to terms with it, to understanding, like, okay, yeah, maybe I don't want to feel that way, but part of me definitely feels that way. Like, that's screwed up. You need to accept that, to better love yourself, because we have to love ourselves, right, Chris?
That's right. I
Yep.
just actually said that in a comment, something like that.
You have to love yourself, your whole self, not just part or the part you want to be.
Oh wow. That just sounds so familiar. I don't know if my friends are watching, but I have a friend that I talk to, and she hasn't been in chat in a while, but one day she goes, what are you scared of, Chris? Are you scared of your darkness? What? Are you scared of your darkness? You need to accept it. We all have some darkness too. It's not that we're bad, it's just
Mhm.
aspects of you.
That's
Don't run from for it. Don't run from it.
Right?
And I was like, wow. And then right when she said that, get this, I started seeing more shadows.
Yeah.
They were just waving at me, and I'm like,
they were letting you know.
yeah. And I accepted it. And then now it's like I'll see shadows, and I could just sit here and then one by and be like,
Hmm.
before it wasn't like that because I wasn't accepting that part of myself.
Many
Because
times
without,
we
because without,
want to be this thing, this image in our head that you want to be, and you consider yourself and like, oh, I'm not like that, but maybe you are part like that. Maybe you just got to accept those things, even if they're kind of, you view them as fallacies or negative things. Just look at it as a whole. There's a reason why
Ego as well.
that
Yeah.
part of your ego thinks that way, then there's probably a legitimate reason. So yeah, absolutely, shadow work is so valuable.
Yes, it is.
yeah. And it goes back into double gangers, being part wolf, and that's when you start discovering more different things about yourself. And yeah, and it's something that people don't even talk about because I don't know, I just think you learn more and more every day, and the more that you learn, the more you open yourself up, the more that you better be ready for what's coming. Because I think within the shift that last time that I was on the shows, that you know everyone is kind of sometimes they don't like to accept different parts of them, but like they say, without dark there is no light, and without light there is no dark. That's why they say that saying.
Right.
I know there's a bunch of chat to catch up on, so sorry guys.
I know. I know. I look at all those statues.
But that's how it rolls. We're a live show. Let me see here. Let me scroll down. Oh my god, I'm way behind.
Yeah.
I've got paragraph upon paragraph.
Yes.
Let me see. Yeah, Josh, the questions. Yep. Linda, Amy.
It's hard. I know. I wish, I could just imagine what you guys go through behind that studio. I could just imagine how y'all do it, multitasking here.
Life is very strange.
Unfolding.
Yes.
Jamie Lynn Keller giving a shout out to the Victoria. One day. That's awesome. Hey, Loki Trout.
Yes.
Hello, interesting podcast.
Thank you.
Thank you. We appreciate that.
Mm-hmm.
As well. Are they?
Yeah. And I'm sorry, guys, if I've skipped your question, please re-ask it because there's just too much chat. We're on a few different platforms, and the stuff gets all lumped together in the chat that I can see on the screen.
In the StreamYard chat.
Half of it gets missed, and the other half, that's just a lot. So
it's a lot.
It's a lot to unpack. Mm-hmm. So what else have you been up to? Any Paracons? I think the last time we talked to you, you were working on getting involved in some Paracons and promoting yourself that way, getting out there in front of some peeps. Have you done
it? That's something that's been kind of hard due to the pandemic, but I'm still trying to get different things. But I want to get more, getting more to Paracons. I do want to interact and meet different people that I like and socializing. But there's the only thing that I keep doing is just keeping my energy positive, even though things have been trying to bring me down. Let me tell you that. But I keep myself optimistic, and I just keep myself just busy and proactive, helping people behind the scenes, and the word of mouth goes out there. And I do feel that I am reaching a lot of people, and I hope probably because I had asked a good friend of mine to tell me what's going on, because even I needed guidance, and she said that probably by February, she kept saying something big coming. So unless if a producer or something contact me or an event, because I've been invited to events, but with all this pandemic, it's hard. And then the travel and then the violence is, I don't know. It's very hard. I mean, I'll try to do more stuff local because I've been wanting to go to this Victoria Inn, but we haven't done it due to the weather. But it's places where they have vendors and there's people that speak up there. I'm hoping to go there soon because I want to go maybe do an investigation one night, have a good friend that I can trust come with me. If they let me just stay there for one night, that would be funny. But, but that's something I'm looking to, hopefully, because the other Paracons has been kind of just, it's just bad. I mean, it's hard. I don't know, have y'all been to an event lately with all this craziness?
You think you're an individual, Chris, and you are kind of your own entity, and you are different than a lot of the psychic folks that we talk to. And nothing against them, or not one's better than the other, but you do have this kind of cool, very natural flow, that just seems to, like you mentioned, come from your heart. And, we like that. And I do think it's refreshing and kind of different the way you do your thing. Now, we do have another question for you from Victoria. She asked that, should not be labeled a question hog, and we won't do that to you, right?
Goodness, no.
No, hell no.
Hell
we
no.
appreciate the question. But if there's time, question for Chris. I'm hosting a New Year's Eve party, my first big event. Will it be well received or flop? Tickets are on Eventbrite.
Oh, that sounds kind of fun.
Big.
I think so that you would probably get some people, but I don't know how much you're expecting. So I would say, because I'm getting you're being told numbers that you're getting an estimate of how many people are going, but just keep in mind a lot of people are having money issues. So just tell them, make a list of who's going to be showing up, and those are the ones that are going to show up. I think you're going to have quite a few people. I can tell you. I feel that you're going to make some good out of that, and I feel that if you want to interact people and get your name out there, but or would reach out and be like a speaker, I feel that you have that capability. I've never really physically talked to you. Maybe one day we need to talk. We need to talk one day, but I feel that you would be a good speaker and you would be spreading good knowledge to them. And that's just something that without me knowing who, how you present yourself, but I feel that you have a good energy to you. And I feel that you don't sugarcoat anything. So I don't see anything wrong with that. I see it being pretty good.
Excellent. Excellent. And Victoria is an excellent author.
Yes, she is.
She is. She was on our show. And she's also the co-host of Edge of the Rabbit Hole. Plug, plug, plug. We love your show. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Great. So
We've been watching that for years. It's awesome.
Cool peeps. Let's see what else we got out here. George, just keep a positive attitude and everything will be fine.
Mm-hmm. Amen to that. That's what I say. That's why I say, all this Paracons, I do want to meet people and interact. I really do. And you know what I want to take? I want to take my spiritual family because I know that I don't leave, without everyone. If they can make it, they can make it. If they cannot make it, then, I know they have, family to maintain. But at least the thought is there. The thought is, to take them with me. And that's something I've always dreamed, like to go on a bus cruise. You know how like they had Robin Williams going in the RV and that funny movie with the RV. If I could do that and just travel the world, oh my God, I think we would have fun, but there would be some kind of fun times and laughter times and stuff like that. If I could be like that RV and just travel, oh my God, I could really see it now. The girls will be having a good fun, picking on the guys. And yeah, it's just crazy. And I see you, Nicole. I know you're still watching. So what do you think of that, Nicole? What do you think of having the team go on a RV and going out and exploring the world and reaching out to people? What is your feeling on that?
Anne-Marie Young, road trip. Cool.
There's a lot of people I think we'd pack in that RV.
Oh God, yeah. The horns they have there's, I mean,
hells yeah, they do.
That's a great.
They're always road tripping.
Yeah,
there are people out there. They are road tripping like crazy, and I think it's awesome. We think that's great, you guys. We would love to be part of that leg at some point, right?
Oh yeah, we've been thinking about
when
it.
you come through New England,
yeah,
we'll show you around. But no, we love everyone, and the world is in such chaos, Chris. Right now, there's at least two wars. I'm going to go at least because there's two that's on our media, 24/7
mainstream.
What do you think? I mean, are we ever going to like outgrow our medieval past? Are we going to move on from just fighting each other endlessly and killing each other? And I mean, it's horrifying, right? It's hard to get the news.
Yeah, it's hard. I think for me, I'm going to be honest with you, I haven't watched the news in a while.
Good.
And I know I should because due to the weather. That's one thing that I'll probably watch every so often. But I've been kind of detached from that. But a lot of people say you need to watch what's going on local. But I just haven't been to where I don't even. I don't know. I just think that with that question you're asking, will it ever stop? No, that's what I'm being told. Not anytime soon. maybe next year.
To war with each other, to be so defensive that we have to kill the things around us that we view as a threat. We just can't all get along.
Yeah, it's all holy wars. It all has to do with basically their religions. It's been like that since time began.
And their insecurities. Like, this is my
politics.
It's funny that you said that because I had talked to a friend that I thought she forgot my number, but I guess she remembered my number. And we were talking about this vision I had. And I told her, I said, something's coming. And she said, I noticed that you were, because I was up, I think, at 4 a.m. I couldn't sleep, guys. I couldn't sleep. So I had to talk about the vision, and it looked like people like they were homeless, but you would think just by the clothes that they were wearing, you thought there was just something bad because they were that I know she's talking about the road trip. That's what she's talking about. So I feel that with the vision I've had, we were talking about the Rocky Mountains. And my friend that I was talking to today, she was like, "What do you feel about this? The up there in the Rocky Mountains, up there in the mountains. What do you see going on?" And I said, "There's a shift up there, and it's weird because you know where they have I think it's in Montana, the Yellowstone. I think if they say they've always brought that up that if something corrupts up there, we're done. We're done because there's too much gases up there.
Don't ever
So
go.
I think I
Yep.
know, and
We're
I
all-
feel that it.
The
Screwed.
world
Yeah,
is
we're
done at that point.
Don't even get us started. We know
Yeah,
this.
yeah. No, you watch that stuff.
We watch it. I
There
actually
are
have a
very
thing with this.
alarmist weather people out there that
Yeah.
post YouTube videos
Mary
about it.
Greenlee News.
Yeah.
She's like,
But it's great. And there
It-
are things going on that they don't
that we
talk
need to
about
know.
in
Yes.
the mainstream.
yes.
That well, if it goes,
I have a thing with this earthquakes, volcanoes. It's a thing with me. If I can't control it, then it's like right. If I can't control it, then I need to know.
wow.
little
It's a
warning, but
thing.
it isn't much help in the end. If it were to blow, if Yellowstone were to go,
Oy vey.
we're all done. There is no USA.
No turning.
But there's
Yeah,
really
yeah.
no Earth.
So-
Most of the Earth is done.
Somebody asked a question earlier. I think it was Bob Burnell. He said he asked you about 2032. Supposedly there's a comet coming. It's not Dionysus. But there's a comet coming and it's supposed to hit the earth in 2030, I believe. Bob. And I think maybe that
Wow.
too. Yes. Yes.
Didn't I just say what year did I say when things were going to change?
2032.
And he said 2030, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay,
And
that is creepy.
It's crazy.
are we
That-
doing it to manifest
That's the thing.
by saying it in a way?
Like a collective consciousness.
Is that
Well,
part of it? Like if that's, I think why news is so vague a lot of times. Like, I don't know if people really thought, okay, 2030 over,
yeah, we're just gonna go and do
it'll
whatever.
be over.
Leave whatever stupidly, but yeah.
That's weird that you say that because now that when you asked that question and I said 2032 and you said 2030, I think some of us are going to be prepared and some of us probably won't be alive by then. And I'm going to say though something with the news thing. I think with the news, and hopefully we don't get in trouble for saying that.
No, you're fine.
That I feel that a lot of the stuff, I think it's kind of like things that they don't want us to know. They know about it. They only tell us what they want us to know.
Exactly. It's control. Like she said, like Leah said, control is an illusion, but is it though? I mean, that's what other people are thinking, and I don't know, just hunkering down and wait for the end. No.
Yeah,
No.
you can build a bunker in your backyard, but it really won't matter if Yellowstone goes.
Yeah, it will.
No,
If you
it
dig
won't.
it deep enough and there's
You're
3 of
done.
them, yes, we will.
I don't think so.
Now you want to talk about that? That's funny. I had a few conversations that I do believe, and I think some of them, the people that are very high tech and they're very important people, and we're just like the middle people, the middleman. It's what I want to call us.
Sure.
I do believe that they have underground tunnels already, and only certain people have access to it.
Yes.
And everybody else, you be like, get lost. You ain't rich. Get lost.
Oh no,
You
I
know?
say that a lot. It's fine. You're right.
It's
That's
under
what's
the
happening.
Denver airport, right? The
Denver
scareport.
Scareport. The Denver Scareport.
I mean, we're joking, but we're not really joking.
We're not really joking.
We kind of
It's some
think it might be.
conspiracy things.
There's something going on there.
But there
Yeah.
is, because there's trucks coming out from tunnels and things, and there's
Yeah, there's a lot more construction there than is necessary.
Yeah, and it's cost
Right.
$2 billion more You know,
What?
oh
Over
yes,
budget, but
yes.
like what isn't?
It's
And you go,
way over budget.
But then again, isn't
billion.
that kind of a nice pass off? Well, it's
I'm
government,
sorry.
so it's budget. You knew it was going
You
to be
got
over
us
budget.
going. But
So,
But-
wow.
Colorado has the
very
mountain with the
conspiracy.
bunkers down in the bottom. There's a lot. I mean, our bases everywhere have the like 9 floors down. This is when you see this on movies, this is an actual thing. I can tell you that from
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
we're gonna have
Lots
to
of
grow
it.
our own. What was that thing I saw today?
Well,
It was an arrow
You know,
something.
when it's all said and done, the
Arrow
fields will
garden.
have pretty
You know
good.
what's funny? You know what's funny that y'all talking about Denver? You're talking about the airport, right?
Yes, the Scareport. They call it the Denver Scareport.
Mm.
Is this in Colorado?
Yes, Denver.
Yes.
Correct, sir.
Oh, it's the weirdest thing. You should pull pictures of. My God.
They have some bizarre art
Oh,
in there as
yes.
well. So that's a
Mm.
other thing.
Right?
Another that's another show.
Right.
Really, we could do a whole show on that.
Yeah, we
Maybe
could.
I
several.
know.
How many times our prediction has been forecast through the decades? I don't know. I mean, we are kind of doomsayers in a way because we know we're just like running our way right to the end.
Yeah.
People are just.
Why does
we
it have to
don't-
happen on our time?
We don't effing
You know?
learn.
Exactly. Why do we have to live to see this baloney? Why do we have to live to see this garbage? You know what I'm saying? You would
Right.
think it would be more peaceful, but knowing that you're saying that, I can feel that there's. I remember saying this, and I was on some live that I did, and I think Nicole or somebody was watching me, and they said, "Oh my God, did he just say that?" I think it was Seattle that I mentioned.
Mhm.
There's an there's an underground tunnel in Seattle, and I believe Ohio. Don't ask me how I know that. Don't even ask. I'm just tapping into stuff.
California has a ton of them as well, but Ohio.
That's crazy, and it's funny because you know how, and a lot of people don't know this, and this is what gets me. And I think we talked about this before. You know how they have the Lincoln Tunnel underground in New York, right?
Yes.
How can you have a tunnel and the water on top of it? If they can do that, there's underground tunnels. That's a sign that there's
many-
one. Yeah, they have one that goes to New Jersey, and it's like what you're doing is you're going underneath, and the ocean's on top. So then, what does that say? If they can do that, they have underground tunnels that
Fish got an edge on it.
they're so and you know what's crazy that you're saying that?
Yeah,
Echo
you know,
fish
What are the odds?
they
What
say
are
we're-
the odds
so
that there's other underground tunnels besides New York
that's
that
our
they
plan.
have?
Oh yes.
Evolve again from fish.
From fish. Wait, Darwinism, please don't put my cat.
Jamie Lynn Keller says, I believe when it's our time, it's changing in its evolution. Why don't dinosaurs exist? Are there the next dinosaurs? Until then, if it happens in our lifetime, we'll continue to pass one by one as we intended to. And that brings up a couple interesting points, right?
Yes.
All right. So there's a whole group of people out there that don't even believe dinosaurs existed, which is
I
funny.
do believe.
I'm sorry.
What is
We
it?
have the data.
You don't believe?
You don't
No, I
believe?
do believe. Yeah, I do believe in dinosaurs.
Oh, thank you.
2,000 years
Thank
ago.
you.
Yeah.
Thank you. There were dinosaurs, and there is a record and it's right there. You know,
You're gonna
that's
go
just-
there.
yeah, that's a funny thing to me,
It's-
humorous. But it also talks about fate. Her question:
Yep.
do you believe in fate? There were the
Yes.
fates, like in Greek mythology, we have the fates, Clotho, Lachesis, and Atropos. Do you believe that they exist? The fates, is fate predetermined to some degree?
I do believe in that. Yeah, I do believe, and as a matter of fact, I was talking to somebody about that. That I do believe that there is some species somewhere that we haven't discovered that is a dinosaur that lives underwater.
Yep.
Don't ask me how I know that, but there is a species that has not been known to man yet, because underwater there's another world. So That being said, there is another dinosaur underwater. Now, as far as like airwise, I do believe that they're there, but they're just hiding. They don't want to be exposed. Just saying.
So you don't believe that it's a plesiosaurus? That's like Champ and Loch Ness Monster, and you believe it's something totally different than a plesiosaurus in the lakes?
I do. I think it's connected. I really do. I feel like it's intertwined and it's within the species of the dinosaurs. So I do feel that there is a dinosaur underwater that we're probably not aware of. That they would think that it's like a snake or something or an anaconda, but yeah,
Yeah.
I feel that it's got some features. The only thing is I can't really see it. I can probably look into it and see what it looks like and maybe get like
Please
a
don't break.
vision of it.
It's terrible.
Don't break my brain.
Let's rewind it just a little bit
Yeah.
back to those fates, right? We talk about psychic abilities. I think, and tell me what you think of this, Chris, because you're very more in tune with it. When we make a prediction about something, it is more or less the way things are trending, right? And trending is a word we're all now familiar with, thanks to Instagram and Twitter or X or whatever they call it today. Elon wants to name it after. I think it's like a trending type thing rather than something that is set in stone. There seems to be a certain amount of fate involved. I believe in the fates, but I don't not necessarily believe in free will. I think there is free will against it, and it can change the outcome of things. But things trend certain ways in people's lifetimes. Would you agree? When you read somebody, you're looking at how things are seemingly lining up, as opposed to, oh no, you're absolutely gonna find the skeleton key in the shoebox under your grandmother's bed.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
You will.
I think, yeah, I think when you read them, like when I read people, I'm looking at what I'm seeing beneath the surface, and then there's times where I've seen a little past, depending on how deep they went to reading to go. Because there's times where I've maybe done it twice, and oh my god, this is the most scariest thing.
Hmm.
I tell people don't ever do this to me. I've only done this maybe twice as being the medium part of me. No, I've already predicted 2 deaths within the past 10 years. Yeah, and I got them right, and that's what creeped me out. Because after that, I told my friends, "I know you trust me. You ask me this type of questions." But I told this one person when they asked me this, I said, "Please don't ever do this shit to me again," because that really scared the crap out of me. I ain't gonna lie. Because even though they wanted to know how long that person had to live, I said, you actually put me in a spot where I don't want to know about this kind of stuff, even though you're wanting to know and I'm gonna tell you, but I don't know how you're gonna take it because you're talking about your loved one. So I told them, are you sure you want to know this? And they said yes. And right when they told me, a month later, they called me and they said, yeah, this person died at that specific time, date, and time exactly like he said. That's why sometimes I've been blessed to not have anybody ask me, oh, when is my relative gonna die? I try to avoid those questions.
Right. But
Yeah, no.
I do, just to go back to my point there. I think it's an interesting thing. So if somebody, you predict, like, look, it's looking like, you guys are gonna do this and you're gonna go to Europe or whatever, you do have the free will to kind of change that fate. But
Yeah.
this is how things are looking. So that information should be taken not as a grain of salt. It's very important information. Just that's how it's working out right now. You have the ability to change your future. I think we do have that.
I think I do, but I can agree with that. I can agree with that because I think
It's tough when you say somebody's going to pass, say a disease or something, but it's not, outside the realm to say, all right, well, if we work on this aspect of it, maybe that changes the outcome. It is, I hate to say a crapshoot, but it is a little bit of a crapshoot. You have some free will in there to manipulate it, but I think it's damn good to know how things are lining up.
Yeah, and I think with people when they ask me stuff, a lot of the reading that I've done within the past years that I've known you guys, it's I can't even say. I think they've gotten more intense. And even though I'm like, because they have sessions where they record me and stuff like that, but when I've done certain readings for people, like on Messenger or on Zoom or whatever the case may be, a lot of them after I'm done, a lot of them just are validated. Like I did a good reading for a friend of mine. I don't know if y'all didn't get to get to his question, but I did a reading for my friend Willie. And I'm not gonna say what I did, but I did do this reading. I don't know if y'all ever seen this before. This is what I call a mat reading. And what you do with this mat reading is that you use different charms. You can use bones, runes, whatever. And I've done maybe like at least 5 of those type of readings, and every single one that I've done with that mat is creepy.
Why
And I
is
mean, I think it's because it's more of what I'll do is I'll close my eyes and I'll just rub the mat and say, ask spirits to come through. If there's messages, and I talk to it, and then what I'll do is close my eyes, and I'm guided to put my hand over the mat, and I'm not looking, and I'm just like this, and then where it lands on like present, burden, lesson, healing, and then stuff like that, and it's just to me. I never thought that reading was going to open a lot of doors for me, but it has, and a lot of the readings that I've done for like my friends in chat. I don't know who's watching still.
there's
That
a
I've
lot?
done for readings. Yeah, I know there's a lot. But there's like readings for Willie. I've done readings for Harley. I've done readings for John, I believe. Who else have I done readings for with that man? I've done readings for my friend Amy. Uh, I don't know. There's probably a few others that I can't mention. There's Georgie. I didn't read for Georgie.
Well, we feel you're a gifted soul, and you're
Yes.
very good at this, and gifted. And please, when I talk about fate and that kind of stuff, I'm just hypothesizing about
Good word.
how all this stuff works, and we're always trying to find those answers, and some of them we'll never know. It's no discredit to you in any way. We think you do an amazing job. If we could you maybe read us?
Read you guys? Ooh, that's a challenge. I like that.
Yep. Somebody else does too.
I like a challenge. So let's see what we do.
Challenge.
Yeah, as we put up our words, probably.
Right? That's exactly what I was doing. I'm like, oh God.
Oh, no. Wait, but we're laid back here. I think we can handle it.
Yeah.
Sure. Who are you starting with?
Oh God.
I can probably do both at the same time. I'm gonna try. That'll be a first.
That's going to be a squirrel. Fuck. Squirrel.
Okay, well, I'll see. Well, then we'll see if I have to reshuffle. Then I'll do it if I have to. But I'm gonna just give it a try. I've never tried this before.
I feel like you're juggling. Take your time, Chris.
Yeah, just take your time. One
Okay,
at a time.
We're on no time.
Yeah.
So I got the hermit card. I don't know if I can pronounce that word.
Oh, yeah, that's us right there. We're hermits. We're so isolated, and I gotta say this to our friends that are still listening out there.
Yes.
If we have not been in contact with us, we love you.
We really love you. It's just we are
like
hermits. And
we are hermits, man. We watch movies and
I take time off to spend with my son and try not to like go and Facebook and stuff like
do the kid thing.
days. So just
okay, so what I'm seeing with this card is that it's got a lot of beautiful energy to it. But there's a lot of stuff that you have thought about, and I don't know, it's probably pertaining to both of you, but I'm just going to try to make it, if I can make it individual, so it's going to be kind of different. I feel like there's been a lot of collective items that you all have thought about getting, but you're kind of debating, or maybe there's stuff that you haven't got yet, but I feel like you've thought about getting items that you've thought about, but it's kind of just haven't really decided should we get it. And I feel that when you both talk about these items, you both decide should we get it. One says yes, one says no. If one of you doesn't feel, one feels uncomfortable, the other one says, then we're not going to get it. So you both have to do 50-50. And that's what I'm being told. When you both do it, you both compromise and say, okay, well, if you're going to buy this item, is it going to be in your house or is it going to be in our house or what's going to happen? Or can we come to agreement and say, okay, I think it's fine. Basically, what I'm being told with the Ace of Cups, you'll go by emotion
Mm-hmm.
when you do this. And the Ace of Cups says that, yes, there's going to be a lot of stuff that's going to be coming. And I see a lot of good money coming also, by the way. And then you have the 1, 2, 3. Then you have the Three of Cups. You have abundance coming.
Awesome.
So I
Thank you.
just know that you're going to prosper and
It's a
not
little
just
economy.
We were
the
just
what?
talking about
We could
today's
use
economy.
A little abundance in today's economy.
Yeah.
I bought eggnog tonight. It was $7.99
Good Lord.
for friggin'
And then also you have the star.
eggnog.
The sun card. So you both are combined together as one, the same soul. That's what I'm being told with that. You both have. Oh yeah, no calls with playing. I'm watching you. So
Sure.
yeah, so that's what.
And I think we do run along the same lines, even uncomfortably so sometimes.
And I think you are very right with what you're saying. You're right
About
what's
with what? With what?
sharing things and trying, we're trying to get things, but in a material things, get things in a just like slow progress. But you're right. You're right. Wow.
Yeah, so that. Now, as far as like abundance, I feel that with abundance, also it's going to pertain to the network. What I'm seeing is a lot of growth, and I do feel that you're going to reach out to different. I mean, I don't know how many platforms you're on, but just don't tell me. But I feel that you're going to be on more, and you're going to expand. So that's abundance and reaching out, and abundance doesn't always have to be something that you're going to receive. It's just a blessing. Is what I see between both of you. And that is the most precious thing that you can get. It's and what I feel from you is that you both have unconditional love, and that's just amazing. It's hard to find that, very hard to find that. Just let me tell you. But other than that, you do have the star card, so I feel that there's a lot of beautiful there, and I feel that you have just different types of aspects to you guys, and I feel that you learn more about each other every day. And it's weird. It's like you both can read each other's mind. It's just
Yes,
insane.
we can.
And as you more time that you spend time together, both of you are going to start looking like each other. And I'm being told you already look like each other. That's what I see. So that's what I see. So that's what he's telling me.
Spot on.
It sounds like people are calling you, Chris. And
Yes.
I
thank you.
know. I know that. Now there was a chat. That's a chat though.
Yeah, but who's
I
calling
want
your chat?
people to know that they can.
No, that's a chat that we're all in.
Oh, okay.
Group chat.
No, but it's a group chat, but I don't see who's in. Oh,
Yeah,
I'm not gonna. Well, I mean, yeah, they're probably not aware of the show though. They're probably not aware of the.
card.
You're right.
On, like,
So the thing is, we have about, I don't know, 20 something group chats that we're in. I'm not kidding you. And like, we have
can't
to
keep up with them.
Yeah, we
We're
can't keep
sorry.
up with them.
We want to.
Yeah.
We want
but
to.
we're kind of hermits.
We are that first card. And
Victoria, Joanne, where are you?
That was really good. I want the folks out there to know that they can reach Mr. Chris Garcia for a personalized, like in-depth reading, a deep reading, a true reading, more than what you're hearing tonight, of course. Obvious. That's common sense, right, guys? You can find him on Facebook. You can find him on TikTok. He's been exploring the TikTok, doing really well. And you can call him directly and book a reading at 210-974-3470. And Chris will answer, and you'll go, hey, what's going on?
And that phone will be going off.
And that's how it works. That's how it works, guys.
And hopefully y'all enjoyed that reading. Hopefully that reading makes sense to
We
you.
love the reading. Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much.
Thank
and
you.
it's
And-
true that you're spot on with that.
Yeah,
You really
yes,
are.
Yes. We're always doing this thing.
Yeah.
Back and forth. And
Oh, that's a good
it's hilarious
question.
that you pulled a hermit card, the first thing.
Oh my God, it's so funny.
Because it's like the one thing I want to tell every one of our friends.
They know. That's the thing.
You know?
Kim Horn, they all know Becky.
We hope they are
hermits,
not
and-
offended, because we're quiet a lot. And that reason is it's because we're just enjoying life, man. We're
Yeah.
just doing our thing together, and it's just so much that we can do at a time.
Oh, she's so sweet.
We want to love on each other as much as we want to love on you.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
thank you guys.
Thank you
And
so
thank
much
you-
for joining.
Chris Garcia. You awesome, amazing person. You.
Yes, you are.
We've had a great time tonight.
Absolutely.
And I think you've answered a lot of our audience's questions, shown us your abilities are outstanding, and we've had a good time. And we always
Every
have fun,
time.
and we hope to have you back. So thank you so much.
Yes, thank you again. Next time I'll wear my shirt. It says Chris Garcia.
We do have Chris
Number on
Garcia
it.
shirts, and we have worn them
Yes.
on our shows. Not
Go
just
back
when
in the
you're
archives.
if you
I
look
know,
at
and
oh, and we'll-
amazing.
YouTube. Oh yeah, you can see all our videos, all of them. If you go on YouTube and look up Dark Horse Paranormal, you can do the @ Dark Horse Paranormal, and you'll see hundreds of videos, literally, of our show,
Hundreds
of
and
other shows
hundreds.
that were under our umbrella at the time.
Mhm.
Fantastic stuff. Please go
History.
visit.
History. You got to watch the ones with history. The Native American ones were kind of funny in that. We're like the Abbott and Costello of friggin' paranormal. Really are. We're so fun. I could say that.
And
You can.
I love you guys, and I love you guys. And you both are a good team together. Don't change. Be true to yourself, like I've been told from others. Just be true to yourself, and as long as you're true to yourself, you have many blessings coming your way. Be true to yourself.
Thank you.
Wise advice. Very sage.
Yes.
Thank you, my friend.
Thank you to
you're
all
welcome.
our audience members. Just you're wonderful. Thank you so much from our hearts.
You guys are awesome. We'll see you next Thursday, and we have some surprises planned coming up in the future. And keep tuning in. Thank you, everyone.
Good night.